I'll start with the identification tag on the side. Here you'll find the manufacturer, your VIN number, date it was manufactured, tire sizes and pressures, gross weights. To the right, you have your cargo carrying capacity, and also your VIN number. Some weights for your water to the left of there, and a tire chart. Up front, behind your propane tanks, is your battery. These aren't maintenance free. You may have to add water to them at some point. If you're not going to be using your unit for a while, I would disconnect it. There is a bit of a power drain coming from certain things inside. And for winter, I would put it somewhere warm for storage. You have two 30-pound propane tanks. There's a selector in the middle, little arrow points to which tank is supplying. Power jack up front. There's an on and off switch for the light here, and an up and down switch. Your breakaway here, there's a key that can be pulled out. One thing to remember, if that key gets pulled out and your battery's hooked up, it does activate your brakes. If it is left out for an extended period of time, it's going to drain your battery and possibly do damage to your brakes. So kind of make sure that stays in. In the front compartment, you have your hitch. There's a 2-burner stove in the middle there. Some blocking and some cranks at the far end. We'll see when we get around there. Stabilizer jacks in all 4 corners. Just make sure you know these aren't meant for lifting your unit. They're just made for stabilizing. You have to level your unit first and then just crank these down, put pressure down, just so your unit doesn't rock back and forth. If you try to get too aggressive and try to lift, they will bend. Your furnace intake and exhaust here. Just don't store anything in front of that. The low point drain is your fresh water drain. City water connection here. If you're at a campsite that has water provided for you, you can just run your garden hose directly into there. Your freshwater tank fill. 30 amp plug-in cord. Cable TV and satellite input there. On your wheels, they do have greasable wheel bearings. If you pull these garments out, there's grease nipples in behind. Not a bad idea to grease your wheel bearings once in a while, but if you are putting lots of miles, I do recommend getting them repacked. Your hot water heater here. These are propane and 110 electric. All the controls are on the inside. It's all automatic. The only thing you need to know here is your drain and your plug. Very important to do when you go to winterize, to drain your hot water heater. Vent there is for your fridge. All the controls are on the inside, so there's no need to go in there. Vent for your range above your stove. It's for your exhaust. Underneath, you have your gray and your black. So they're labeled there. Gray is the little one, black is the bigger one. When you go to dump, I recommend to do the black first and chase it with the gray. Stabilizer jack at the back. Spare tire mounted on the back bumper. An outside shower with hot and cold. This here is your tank flush. This is for your black tank. If you are going to be using this, make sure that to remember to open your black tank valve. If you don't, it's just going to fill your black tank up and you can end up with a big mess. So if you do decide you're going to flush, make sure that you have that open. Rear ladder. I do recommend to go up on your roof once in a while and inspect it, especially if there's been a big storm recently. You know, just kind of take a look, make sure there's no cracked vents or you know, rip roof, any crack sealant. Just kind of in general take a look, make sure there's no leaks. Sewer hose is in the bumper. Another stabilizer jack there. There's a propane outlet here. It's a quick connect with a valve. If you ever wanted to use mount or put a barbecue back here or something, you could mount a barbecue or hook up a barbecue back here. There's two low drains, and actually the valves are in the back compartment here. They just pop up to open them up. You don't have to do much with them until after you winterize. Open those up, it'll just drain the last little bit of water and the antifreeze will come out. Back compartment there. Electric awning. Outside speakers. Here you have an output for the coax cable, so your cable TV or satellite. If you want to mount a TV or put a TV out here, this is where you'd hook it up, and then you've got your power outlet right next to it. Outside light there. Your entrance door. Latch for the door. Another power outlet here. There's blocks in here for blocking. These are accessories for your sewer hose. Crank for your stabilizer jack, and this crank here is for your tongue jack, and I'll show you where that goes. If you ever don't have power, you can just take this off and you can put your crank in the top and you can manually crank your jack up and down. So I think that is about it for the outside. We'll head in.